Chiefs Kingdom, you won't believe what happened in Super Bowl 59. The team stepped onto the field ready to make history, but walked away with a result no one expected. And if anyone still believed the theory that the NFL favored Kansas City, this game was a brutal wake-up call. Patrick Mahomes had a game to forget. The officiating was controversial, and now the front office has already started making moves to turn things around. But does this first move hint at a future without one of the team's biggest stars? Stay tuned. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. Don't forget to like the video, and let's get into it. Well, it looks like the theory that the NFL was scripted to have the Chiefs win again just got completely thrown out the window. After Super Bowl 59, the Kansas City Chiefs took the field dreaming of making history, becoming the first team to win 3 straight Super Bowls. But they left with a crushing 40-22 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. And let's be honest, no one saw this blowout coming. It was one of Patrick Mahomes' worst games, and the Eagles dominated from start to finish. Now, with the season officially over, the Chiefs have to face reality. The offense needs serious changes if they want to compete again next year. The offensive line needs reinforcements. Key players are hitting free agency, and the AFC competition is only getting tougher. GM Brett Veach has work to do. As for the narrative that the referees were helping Kansas City, well, the Super Bowl proved that was pure nonsense. Throughout the season, many accused the league of favoring the Chiefs, claiming the refs were always on their side. But on Sunday, Mahomes and company felt the sting of some highly questionable calls or non-calls. One play in particular stood out. In the fourth quarter, DT Milton Williams forced a fumble on Mahomes, and right after, Jalen Carter grabbed the QB's face mask with both hands, violently throwing him to the ground. The problem, no flag was thrown. Mike Florio of NBC Sports pointed this out, questioning how Ron Torbert, the head referee, missed the call despite looking directly at the play. According to the NFL rulebook, this kind of play must be penalized, even if there's doubt about the severity of the contact. And that was just one more example of why NFL officiating needs major improvements. Florio argued that the league should have a real-time review system where an officiating team member could assist on-field refs using broadcast footage. Sounds like an obvious fix, right? At the end of the day, that missed call didn't change the game's outcome. The Eagles won because they were the superior team. And now the Chiefs have a long road ahead if they want to get back on top. One thing is clear. The idea that the league wanted Kansas City to win was completely shut down on national television. What did you think of this game? Was it just an off night for the Chiefs? Or is this a sign that the team needs urgent changes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Speaking of changes, Kansas City has already started reshaping the roster, bringing in a new player who could signal a major shift for the team's future. The season ended painfully for the Kansas City Chiefs, and the franchise has wasted no time making moves for 2025. After the devastating 40-22 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 59, the Chiefs quickly added a new player to their roster, tight end Anthony Firkser, who was signed to the practice squad. At first glance, this may not seem like a major move, but with Travis Kelce entering the final stretch of his career, any addition to the tight end position raises eyebrows. At 35 years old, Kelce is still one of the best in the league, but retirement rumors are gaining momentum. Meanwhile, Kansas City is already preparing for the future. Firkser is no stranger to the NFL. Since entering the league in 2017, he's played for multiple teams, including the Jets, Titans, Falcons, Patriots, and Lions. Interestingly, he already had a brief stint with the Chiefs back in 2017, also on the practice squad. Now he's back for another shot in Kansas City. Throughout his career, Firkser has 115 receptions for 1,207 yards and 5 touchdowns. Solid numbers for a player who has never been a full-time starter but can provide depth at the position. In the Super Bowl, Kelce had a quiet game, catching only 4 passes for 39 yards. During the regular season, he totaled 823 yards and 3 touchdowns on 97 receptions. This move alone won't redefine the franchise, but it's clear the Chiefs are starting to prepare for a future without Kelce. And with the offseason just beginning, this certainly won't be the last offensive addition for Patrick Mahomes. This loss was a massive wake-up call for the Chiefs, and the front office is already making moves. But is this signing just a minor adjustment, or is it a sign of even bigger changes ahead? The offseason has only just begun, and Kansas City has some huge decisions to make. So make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on every move your favorite team makes. Come on, Chiefs fans. The Chiefs are buzzing behind the scenes. Andy Reid and the Chiefs are kicking things off with bold and unexpected roster moves, all focused on getting revenge in 2025. No one saw this coming. But first, hit that like button hard if you believe we'll come back even stronger. And if possible, comment, "My heart belongs to the Chiefs." The dust has barely settled after that tough loss in Super Bowl 59, and Kansas City is wasting no time making big changes. The goal? To come back stronger, faster, and more dangerous than ever. After losing 40-22 to the Eagles in New Orleans and missing out on a historic third straight championship, the front office is already reshaping the roster to get back on top. And let me tell you, the changes they're making are getting everyone's attention. Chiefs, secure 11 players for the future. First, the Chiefs have locked up 11 players on reserve future contracts. That means they're already looking ahead, bolstering depth and ensuring the roster remains competitive at every position. Some familiar names in the mix: QB, Chris Oladokun, WRs, Jason Brownlee, Justin Ross, Tyquan Thornton, TE Baylor Cup, OL, Chukwuebuka Godric, DL, Siaki Ika, Fabian Lovett Sr., DBs, Darius Rush, Eric Scott Jr., S. Dayon Bush. Tough cuts had to be made with new faces coming in. Some tough decisions had to be made. The Chiefs parted ways with 7 practice squad players: LBs, Swayze Bozeman, Cole Christensen, TE, Anthony Ferkser, RB, Keontae Ingram, CBs, Nick Jones, Steven Nelson, WR, Montrell Washington. These changes show that Kansas City isn't just adjusting, they're making a statement. They're refining the roster, keeping only the best, and making sure they have the right pieces for another deep playoff run. What's next for Travis Kelce? Now, here's the real question every Chiefs fan is wondering. What's next for Travis Kelce? At 35 years old, Kelce still has plenty left in the tank, but the retirement rumors won't go away. On his New Heights podcast, he kept things vague, saying, "I'm just kicking everything into the future. I'm kicking every can I can into the future, and I'm not making any crazy decisions." Without a doubt, this is a huge decision not only for him, but for the entire Chiefs organization. If Kelce decides to step away, it would leave a massive hole on offense, both as a playmaker and a leader in the locker room. Salary cap and expiring contracts. On top of that, expiring contracts are another big concern. The Chiefs made some aggressive moves during their historic three-peat run, and now they have tough choices to make. The salary cap situation will be tight, and the front office will need to be strategic about who they bring back and who they let go. The offseason just got a lot more interesting. What's next for Kansas City? So what do you guys think? Are these moves enough to get Kansas City back to the Super Bowl? And how do you feel about Kelce's future? Should he give it another year, or is now the right time to walk away? Another roster move. Chiefs bring back Keontae Ingram. After a tough 40-22 loss to the Eagles in Super Bowl 59, the Chiefs have wasted no time making roster adjustments. They signed 11 players to reserve future deals while releasing 7 others, and now they've made another move, bringing back running back Keontae Ingram on a new deal. This signing shows that Kansas City is looking at all options to add depth as it prepares for another championship run. Who is Keontae Ingram? Ingram, a former 6th-round pick of the Cardinals in 2022, had a brief stint in Arizona before joining the Chiefs practice squad last season. He has played in 20 career games between the two teams, racking up 62 carries for 134 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 first-down conversions. While he's not expected to be a major piece of the offense, his return gives Kansas City another option in a running back room that could look very different in 2025. What will the Chiefs' backfield look like? And that brings us to the big question. What will the Chiefs' backfield look like next season? Isaiah Pacheco is still recovering from his leg injury. Kareem Hunt and Samaje Perine are set to hit free agency. Kansas City will need to decide how to structure its running game moving forward. Ingram may not be the long-term answer, but keeping him around adds depth and continuity as the team prepares for next season. The biggest story in Kansas City, Travis Kelce's future. Of course, the biggest story in Kansas City right now is Travis Kelce's future. The Chiefs reportedly gave him a timeline to make his decision, but right now he's keeping things open-ended. If Kelce walks away, it would be a massive shift for this offense. The Chiefs are at a crossroads. The future of Kansas City's offense now. Let's talk about what's really going on, because the Chiefs are at a crossroads, and it's time to address the elephant in the room. Whether or not Travis Kelce decides to play in 2025, one thing is clear: Kansas City's offense has to evolve. We're not talking about getting rid of Kelce, far from it. He's a locker room leader, a future Hall of Famer, and one of the greatest tight ends of all time. But the Chiefs can't continue to rely on him as the focal point of this offense. The numbers don't lie. Over the past 2 seasons, Kelce has been targeted 254 times. The next closest player, Rashee Rice, with just 131 targets. That's not sustainable, especially when Kelce is now 35 years old and coming off a season where he failed to reach 1,000 yards for the first time in 8 years. This over-reliance on Kelce has directly contributed to Kansas City's offensive decline. Consider this: Patrick Mahomes' average depth of target, ADOT, has been steadily declining 2021. Ranked 24th in the NFL 2022, ranked 23rd 2024, ranked 41st, ahead of only Gardner Minshew II and Tua Tagovailoa. That's a drastic shift from the days when Mahomes was the most dangerous deep ball thrower in football. What's changed? 2 major factors: struggling offensive line A, lack of reliable weapons outside of Kelce. Both have forced Mahomes to throw shorter, safer passes, taking away his ability to attack downfield. Fixing the offensive line, priority number 1. For Brett Veach, this has to be the top priority this offseason. Jawan Taylor is locked in for another year, but let's be real, his performance has been inconsistent at best. The left tackle spot is wide open, and the Chiefs have options. Free agency, names like Alaric Jackson, Ronnie Stanley, and Cam Robinson are available. The draft, Kansas City could use its 3rd-round pick from the Algeria Sneed trade to move up in the 1st round and get a long-term answer at left tackle. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for my next update.